The Purge is real, friends. We're looking at 22,810 deleted records.
Welcome to Truth is Trouble, the global war on the written word. Society's most powerful tool for empathy and dissent, the written word, remains under constant threat, from historical bonfires to modern classrooms. Historical flashpoints of book banning include 1933 Germany, where 25,000 books were torched by the Nazi regime. In 1945, George Orwell's Animal Farm faced bans globally. And in 1989, Iran issued a religious fatwa against Salman Rushdie's The Satanic Verses. The Comstock Act of 1873 in the U.S. initially targeted books for obscenity, but was used to suppress modern classics. Examples include D.H. Lawrence's Sons and Lovers and Lady Chatterley's Lover, and William S. Burroughs' Naked Lunch. The evolution of erasure shows a shift. In the 20th century, censors were largely federal decrees and fatwas, targeting political dissent and blasphemy through burnings and trials. Now, censors are state laws and organized parent groups, targeting marginalized identities and activism through library defunding and administrative purges. PEN America documented 22,810 individual book bans in U.S. K-12 public schools between July 2021 and June 2025. A staggering 80% of these bans in the 2024-2025 school year were concentrated in just 3 states, Florida, Texas, and Tennessee. The real targets are erasure, not protection. The bans function as content-based discrimination. More than half of banned books feature themes of activism, and many feature BIPOC, LGBTQ+, or disabled characters. The rhetoric of removing explicit content is merely a pretext. The Nonfiction Purge shows 29% of banned titles in the past year were nonfiction, more than double the previous year. This undermines public knowledge, as biographies, health resources, and historical accounts are systematically stripped away to control the modern narrative. Book bans often suppress youth reality. The Catcher in the Rye was banned for vulgar language, but functionally suppressed themes of teenage isolation and mental illness. Persepolis was banned for upsetting imagery, denying students a view into resilience under oppression. Toni Morrison's The Bluest Eye, a masterpiece by a Nobel laureate, has faced 116 recorded bans since 2021. While challenged for sexually explicit content, the reality is that it's an unflinching exposition of racism and trauma. The century-long LGBTQ+ purge continues. From Virginia Woolf's Mrs. Dalloway facing censorship in 1923, to titles like Gender Queer Today, the underlying motive remains the same: a systematic attempt to render queer existence invisible to the public. The mechanism of erasure relies on 3 main tactics. Broad legislation uses vague language to target content. This leads to preemptive removal by schools fearing legal retaliation. Finally, an inverted burden of proof forces educators to justify why a book deserves to remain. This creates a self-fulfilling prophecy. Classics like 1984, The Handmaid's Tale, and Fahrenheit 451 Feet explicitly warn against censorship and loss of autonomy. Yet they are systematically targeted by the very mechanisms they predicted. The chilling effect is a serious consequence. Bans do not just remove old books. They dictate what future authors are allowed to imagine. It also shapes the formative years of youth, artificially shrinking the spectrum of possible stories and identities they can experience. Toni Morrison said, "Fear of unmonitored writing is justified because truth is trouble. Censorship is proof of literature's enduring power. Despots and regimes ban what possesses the power to dismantle the status quo. Read for your rights, because censorship is so 1984. Defend the free library. Intentionally seek out and read the marginalized voices that systems attempt to silence, and celebrate Banned Books Week by opposing censorship and trusting the expertise of educators and librarians."
I am glad that AI documentary educate, inform, and inspire people about real-world issues.